Welcome to the Funeral Funds Life Insurance Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Vandervate from Funeral Funds of America, and you can find us at funeralfunds.com. That's funeral, FUNDS.com. Whether you're interested in term life, whole life, mortgage protection, annuities, disability, business continuation, or final expense life insurance, we have you covered. Our team of experienced professionals will guide you through the complexities of insurance products to help you make an informed decision. In this podcast, I'm going to be discussing 7 common questions about cremation insurance. So, cremation insurance is generally going to be intended towards older folks. Let's just say it, seniors. You know who you are. Now, let's be straight up front. Any type of life insurance can be used to pay for a cremation in addition to, other financial obligations you may have. So term insurance could work, whole life, universal life, whole bunch of different things could work. But even accidental, but you got to die accidentally that way, right? So we want guarantees that they're going to pay out. So it leaves term life, whole life, and universal life. Of those, for seniors, we recommend whole life insurance coverage because of the guarantees. You want to know the guarantee with a whole life insurance product? As long as you get the right policy, you die, the insurance company pays. It's that simple. Now, that's that simple with first day coverage. Now, it's not like you got to be careful out there. There's some companies out there that say, you die, we pay, but we don't pay anything if you die in the first 2 years, and we'll only return the premium plus a small percentage rate, right? It's all that fine print stuff. So just understand we're talking about first day coverage here. And most seniors, most older people, if they've got, even if they've got some medical problems, we can typically work around 90% of those. So don't worry if you've got diabetes, high blood pressure, you've had heart problems in the past, kind of surgeries, even cancer in the past, anything like that. We can typically help you out as long as, the timelines fit the underwriting requirements from the insurance companies. But let's jump into our 7 questions. The first one is, how is cremation insurance different than traditional life insurance? Well, traditional life insurance, that's kind of a phrase that's thrown out there. It can mean any number of things. It could be traditional term life. It could be traditional, whole life insurance. So cremation policies that we recommend for older folks are built on smaller whole life insurance policies. If you're going to get cremated, we'll talk about that in a moment. It's just smaller financial obligations than if you were to be buried or something like that. So the reason we choose the whole life insurance is that we want to make sure that you never outlive the policy. If you get a term life insurance policy, you can outlive it. Most term life policies cancel once you get beyond age 80. A lot of the policies that are term life out there intended at older folks, seniors, are going to go up in price every 5 years, and they're going to cancel once you get beyond age 80. And that's a temporary insurance policy. And you know what? Your dying is a permanent need. We hope you're not going to die sooner, but we're hoping you're going to die later after a long, wonderful, productive life. But yeah, we just don't want to take a chance that, if your term policy ends at age 80 and, you die at age 80 plus 1 day, that the insurance company just keeps all that money and never pays a death benefit. The only way to avoid that, or the most reliable way to avoid that, is with whole life insurance. Universal life it's just got to be built correctly. And there's a lot of agents out there that don't know how to build a universal life policy correctly. So be cautious of that. If you got any question, reach out to us at funeralfunds.com. So who's eligible for cremation insurance? Well, most of the insurance companies out there target cremation insurance for seniors at age 50 to age 85. Now, we've got some companies that go all the way down to age 18 for adults. We've even got child policies. And so if you're interested in that, let us know. But really, most of the best policies out there are going to stop allowing people to be insured at age 85. We've got a couple that go up to age 89. But I'll tell you, it's more expensive if you're, 85 than if you're 65. So just kind of keep that in mind. But cremations really aren't that expensive, which leads to our third point. How much does cremation insurance cost? Well, the cremation insurance cost is based off the coverage amount. So most cremations, like right now at the time of this podcast, cremations are running between $1,000 to $2,000 on average throughout the United States. Remember, that's an average. Okay. So we're hoping you don't die right away, though, right? We don't want you to die right away. So what we would typically recommend on average is around a five to $7,000 policy. And you go, well, why would I overinsure? Well, the fact is, if you live another 20 or 30 years, you're going to want to make sure this policy pays out. You just want to make sure that it takes care of all the financial obligations at that time. And, chances are, if you die sooner rather than later, you're going to have some more financial obligations because typically the longer we live, we kind of pay that stuff off. And as we get closer to the end of our life, we don't have as many of those financial obligations, loans, credit cards, whatever, because we paid those off. So it getting $5,000 to $7,000 helps because if you were to die in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, you've got your family, your beneficiaries got some extra money in there to pay for some of those costs that might be left behind. Our fourth question is, what's the process for obtaining cremation insurance? Well, it's quite simple with us. You just reach out to us, you know, and I say this, and I want you to understand. I say it's quite simple with us, but insurance products can be complicated if you're not used to them, and it can be confusing because there are so many marketing claims out there. You've probably seen those commercials on TV, 9.95 per unit, and then you call the insurance company up and find it's 9.95 per unit, and each unit might only cover a couple $100 or something like that. So you need to start stacking these units, and before you know it, it's so expensive. And in fact, we've done price comparisons on that company, and we price check that 2-year waiting period 9.95 plan to our best price first day coverage plan, and on average it was 200% more expensive. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So kind of just be aware that there's a lot of marketing out there, and you want to end up with the right policy, and you want to avoid that 2-year waiting period. So what our process is, you would reach out to us, we'd get some basic info, birthday, age, smoker status, non-smoker status, some basic health questions and stuff. Most of the insurance policies that we're going to work with and the companies we work with are very flexible. We can always kind of dodge to the left, dodge to the right to different insurance companies because they all specialize, and they all specialize in kind of unique things. And what one company will allow as first aid coverage, another company will decline, strangely enough. It's just the amount of risk that they're willing to operate under, and that's kind of the world that we live in. We just get to read their application questions and understand what's going to be best for you, and we just transfer that knowledge to you, and you just sign up and get approved. Very cool. Number 5, what's the maximum benefit amount for cremation insurance? So this differs by insurance company, and there's a lot of insurance companies that, some go higher and some go lower. On average, most of the insurance companies are reliably going to go up to $20,000. Some insurance companies max out at 20, some max out at 25, some will go up to 30, some will even go up to 40, depending on your age. Some of the insurance companies out there, they will, offer like up to 40,000 if you're below 60, and then beyond 60 it's going to go down to 30, and then beyond 70 it's going to go down to 20. So there's just some examples like that. So just understand that's very specific on each insurance company, and that's very specific too as to what state you live in, because not all insurance companies operate in all states. Again, we geek out on this stuff. That's kind of the world that we live in. That's the world I live in. So I enjoy the stuff. Don't feel that you've got to be an expert. We'll just help you understand what your options. Point number 6, are there any health requirements for cremation insurance? Well, if you go with a plan that asks no medical questions, yeah, there's no health requirements at all. And you'll automatically get approved, and you'll automatically get thrown into a plan that's got a 2-year waiting period. We don't recommend that. We recommend first day coverage, which means we recommend you answer health questions. In most cases, you're going to qualify for first day coverage with us. It's only in kind of the rare cases where there's extreme health issues going on that we have to look at a plan that's got first day benefits, or perhaps even a plan with a waiting period. Even though we discourage that, sometimes people just they wait, and they wait until they're on dialysis and come and ask us for help. And dialysis is one of those kind of health conditions that the insurance companies are really not fond of. Yeah. So any type of organ failure is going to be difficult to get first aid coverage with. Our seventh point is how are claims handled for cremation insurance? Quite well, as long as you go with the right insurance company. A 2-year waiting period, all they're going to do is if you die in the first 2 years, they're going to refund your premiums plus a percentage. In many cases, it's like 7 or 8%. Some companies offer 10% interest on that. So return of premium. So it'd be 107, 108, or 110% return of premium. But we don't encourage that at all because you should be going for first day coverage. And then that way you don't have to worry. And then that way, if your policy started and you made your first payment and it started on the first of the month and you died on the second of the month, the insurance company is going to pay the full death benefit. So what they will do at that time is they'll require a death certificate, and they'll require you just fill out a form, just giving them some information on the death and everything like that. And then they'll submit it, and it'll go to the claims department. And once that's been approved, they'll mail out a check. Typically, that happens fairly quick. Depends on the insurance company. Depends how long you've had the policy. There's a couple things we can explain that, because it's really insurance company dependent as well. So those are the 7 questions about cremation insurance. That was kind of fast and furious, but we like to deliver a lot of information in a concise manner. So my name is Randy Vandervate, and I hope this podcast has been helpful to you. Funeral Funds of America can help you qualify for first day coverage or benefits at funeralfunds.com. That's funeral, FUNDS.com. And our phone number is 888-862-9456. We will be blessed to help you with this in the future. Until that day comes, stay safe, take care, have a nice day. Bye-bye.